Welcome everyone to another episode. So as we can see, we have just about 12 hours left on our starbase and we're gonna be level 8 really soon. And at the same time we are also upgrading our observatory and turrets one by one. And yeah, I am kinda falling behind in terms of upgrading my resource buildings, but we have a really good income of resources and there is no real need for me to prioritize upgrading my compact houses or mines or whatever, because even though we are reaching that point where we are a bit too high XP level and we have less and less targets left as we climb our XP levels, because well, obviously higher level you are, less players you are able to attack, because the players that were lower XP level, we're not able to attack them anymore, because more enemies we attack, more buildings we destroy, more battles we do, higher XP level we get, and we are not able to attack as many enemies anymore. Even though that's been happening, we are still able to attack a decent or at least enough amount of people where we still have a decent income of coins and minerals, well, mainly focusing on coins, because once we upgrade every single unit we really are not gonna be in need of any minerals whatsoever. So right now the huge thing that I'm looking forward to when I upgrade my starbase to level 8 is that we are gonna have 4 red bunkers, which is really amazing, because I don't wanna have this friends bunker here anymore, because we are getting really high level and someone can just sneeze on that friends bunker and it's gonna die, because we are like level 8 starbase almost, and people have such a strong units at our level now that friends bunker does almost nothing. Like most things will almost one-shot friends bunker, and the units inside the friends bunker are not even gonna be useful because the bunker itself is gonna die before the units even come out. And besides that, we don't really have that strong units in our friends bunker, because right now we have our red bunkers filled with colossi, and the units that our friends are able to provide us with in our friends bunker are just not strong enough or not even close to our power level. And once my base is done upgrading, then I'm just gonna move my friends bunker elsewhere so that we can have our 4th bunker inside our base. So that's what I'm planning to do. Oh, and one more big thing is that we're gonna have a 3rd mortar, which is a huge addition to our defense. That's gonna increase our defensive power by a huge margin. Like an extra bunker plus a mortar is really huge. And on top of that, we're gonna be able to build more walls, which is really amazing. It will hopefully enable me to finish this whole design that I have in mind, so that my base looks better and everything has its place now, because I'm not gonna rush to level 9 until I upgrade every single building, because even though we're gonna have an additional cannon and a sniper turret once we upgrade to level 9, that's not gonna be nearly as enough power increase as we get right now from upgrading to level 8 from level 7, because as I said, mortar and a red bunker is really huge at this level. And I do see that my walls are not quite upgraded and I am almost at the coin cap. As you can see, we have around 83 million coins and we can have up to 89 million or something. But regardless, I don't wanna invest coins into upgrading walls and such. I would so much rather upgrade turrets, because having better walls is always better, but we're gonna waste upwards of 40, maybe 60 million to upgrade our walls. So that is gonna be really small power increase, whereas if we invested all those coins into upgrading turrets, we would have like way stronger turrets. We're gonna be able to upgrade our turrets twice or 3 times, and like that is a huge power increase in terms of turrets and such. And if I prioritized walls over that sort of power increase, it would just be not so smart. So that is the reason why my walls are not quite upgraded yet. So we are keeping all those coins for our turrets, and as I said, once my base is done upgrading, I'm gonna build a bunker, I'm gonna upgrade it to the maximum, put some colossi in there, I'm gonna move stuff around and just gonna finish this whole design that I have in mind. And yeah, that's basically the idea for now. I have not been working on my colonies all that much because they are level 5. That's as high as I want them to be. I don't want to upgrade my first colony to, I don't know, like level 6 or level 7 just yet, because I don't want to upgrade any other colony past level 5 until my base reaches level 9 or is fully upgraded, because I just really want to focus on my main base. That's what I prefer. I know that once you upgrade your main base to level 8, initially that's like your soft cap where you can say that, yeah, I am so close to like max level. At this point you just have to upgrade the turrets and such, because simply just upgrading your starbase to level 9, that's not gonna give you any power increase at all, because like what, your starbase has more HP, okay, and you have like 1 or 2 more turrets, that's like not even worth considering, assuming that you're gonna waste 121 million coins just to upgrade your starbase to level 9, and it's gonna take like 3 weeks or something. Like it's gonna take some absurd amount of time to upgrade your starbase to level 9, and like I have to also invest a worker into upgrading my starbase, because right now I just need to have as many workers as possible to upgrade all the turrets that I can. And we are also gonna be upgrading our strikes to level 6 really soon, which is amazing, because strikes at level 6 are really powerful. And as I mentioned in the past, we are gonna be doing alliance battles at some point. That is coming for sure, but right now my main focus is to just be done with some few starbase guides and such. As some of you guys might have already seen, we have done level 1 and level 2 starbase guide, and our next goal is to have level 3, level 4 and soon level 5 starbase guides. That's like initial goal before I do anything big, and once that has happened, then we're gonna be doing some other things, because I wanna focus on like doing whatever I can right now, because once I have those guides out, then I can upgrade my first colony to level 6, and that will be around the time where we are gonna be upgrading our starbase to level 9, and that is when all sorts of alliance wars and stuff is gonna happen, and that's around the time where I'm gonna be able to like actually tell you guys what's gonna happen and you know what we're gonna be doing. And I just wanna focus on 1 or 2 things at a time and just provide you guys with that content so that we can just move on to another thing. So yeah, that's basically the idea, and I'm just gonna wait for my starbase to finish upgrading, and yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a bit. Alright, welcome back. So as we can see, our base looks more or so finished. I've been working on my base design, I've been upgrading as many turrets as I can. Right now I am upgrading my mines and compact houses because I wanna have better income of resources before I upgrade turrets. But because that we're at the coin cap right now, I might consider upgrading all of my turrets up to a certain level. Right now most of my turrets, like for example sniper turret and the cannons, are about level 6, and the other turrets are more or so fully upgraded until the last level, which is level 5 or 4. Other than that, we are upgrading my units as well as the buildings. My observatory right now is level 6, we are upgrading it to level 7, and while that's gonna take a lot of time, we are not quite focused on our colonies right now. What we are focused on is my main starbase and at least 1 colony which we can use in alliance wars. Speaking of which, probably in the next episode or the one after that, depending on when I do the guides, as in level 4 starbase guide or level 5, depends on when I do those guides. If it's gonna be after this episode that I'm working on right now, then it's likely for my Alliance War episode to be right after the guide, which is about 2 videos later, which is usually around 2 weeks, because each episode takes me approximately a week, whether it is a guide or episode, but obviously guides take a bit more, so that would consume a bit more of my time. So that's basically what I've been working on. I've been focusing on what I'm gonna be using my main starbase for and how I'm gonna be using my colonies, because I could have one of my colonies at level 7 and I could have the other at level 5 or 6, but generally speaking you don't wanna fight with your colonies unless they're at least level 6, because level 6 is when you get these upgraded bunkers, because these bunkers are twice as strong compared to the level 2 bunkers, because these are level 3, and the main difference is not the capacity of the units, it's their HP, because they have twice as much HP. So let's go to my first colony, and as we see, it's almost done upgrading to level 6. I'm not planning to fight with any of the colonies unless they are level 6, because as I mentioned, the difference is really huge, and the big reason why I wouldn't want to fight with any of the colonies that are not level 6 is because enemy can just destroy any bunker with a single boulder strike if the bunker is not level 3, because level 3 takes 2 boulder strikes. That's just about twice as much, and that's really huge. Oftentimes enemy cannot afford that many boulder strikes, and even though level 6 starbase still somewhat loses against full colossi attack, like if your base is really good, it can still defend against level 1 and maybe level 2 or 3 colossus attack, because even though we're not gonna have colossus in our bunkers, because you can train colossus at level 7, not at level 6, and as we are gonna be level 6, mostly we're gonna have falcons in our bunkers. Even though those bunkers are gonna be level 3, falcons cannot quite deal with colossus, as we know colossus are really good against falcons, but we don't really have any other better units, so we are gonna have our bunkers filled up with falcons. And by the way, speaking of alliance wars, some of you guys might wanna know, like, when do you join alliances, when do you wanna do the wars, and you know, just when do you wanna do that. Obviously at the highest level, you don't wanna just fight with any base that is not level 8 and the base that doesn't have upgraded walls, upgraded turrets up to a certain level, at least level 7 or 8, and oftentimes at that level people are just gonna sacrifice all of their resources just to win a war, and they don't generally use any consumables ever unless it's a bunker full of colossi and they just sacrifice their resources to win a war, which is mainly the idea, the way your resources and consumables should be used to destroy a really strong starbase. But at mediocre level, people usually ask for level 6 starbase mainly for the reasons that I mentioned. You wanna have your upgraded bunkers because of the HP. As we mentioned, you don't want your bunkers to get one-shot by a single boulder strike. And worst case scenario, if you have level 1 bunker, then it's like, you know, what are you doing? Why are you doing alliance wars with unupgraded buildings and bunkers? You know, the whole point of alliance wars is for you to be at your best, at your strongest, and not to give out anything for free, because everything, every single bit matters in alliance wars, and you wanna make enemies' job as difficult as possible and don't give anything for free. They have to work for every single building, every single bit of resource, every single whatever they're trying to get from you. You don't wanna give anything for free, and you wanna make their jobs as difficult as possible. That is usually when you use your consumable and craftable traps. Those are your special traps, special units, special whatever special you have. Alliance wars is the best time to use your strongest power that you have. Say for example, if you're lower level and you can craft a few colossus, a few whatever, whether it's gonna be starlinators, colossus, zeppelins or whatever, you wanna use those units and craft those for free. Don't pay chips to buy those items. Craft the ones that you're able to craft with the materials that you got from either friends, from collecting, or you know, in any way, shape or form. The best way to use those items is if you're lower level. Speaking of which, the lowest level when you can do alliance war is, I don't know, like below level 5. It doesn't really matter if you're level 4 or level 1 or whatever. Like until you get your falcons, your base is basically free, and at that point something you could do is to snipe as many buildings as you can with bazookas. And the best combo for alliance wars at, I don't know, level 1, 2, 3 and 4 starbase is beetle tanks and bazookas. As we know, that is one of the best combos at lower levels. Whether you're doing just farming or alliance wars, there is just not a single better combo, because bazookas have really high damage. As we know, our strikes are not good enough and our flying units are in a way weak. They might be good, but you just won't be able to like supplement your attacks full of, whether it is wasps or whatever. You just cannot afford to like do that, because even though wasps are kinda weak, they cost a lot, but they do some damage. But at that point you might as well use marines or whatever, because marines are the best spammable units at lower levels, so you might as well use those instead of wasps, because marines cost about 10% of what wasps cost, and the marines are gonna be level 7. And as I mentioned, oh actually I haven't mentioned, this brings us to a reason why we should buy the level 7 marine upgrade. Even though you're gonna get that from a war, like you're gonna have to win a few wars and it's gonna be difficult at the very start, but if you just wanna get that and upgrade your marines to level 7 right away, yeah, it can work. But since you get that at level 4, because level 4 is the lowest level of starbase when you can upgrade your marines to level 7, that gives you a reason why you should join alliance at level 3 or maybe 2 even. I don't know, like there are lower level alliances where you can join them and people just are gonna accept you because they play the game for fun. And you know, whether they're playing the game professionally or for fun, like for you that doesn't matter, because you're trying to get, you know, what you want. If you can join an alliance at level 2 starbase, then you know, whatever, just go for it. If it's beneficial to you and if you wanna do that, then I think you should. But don't join alliance until you unlock beetle tanks and bazookas. Once those units are unlocked, yeah, then you can join an alliance. And if your high level friends can support your friend's bunker with falcons or maybe colossus, then your defense is gonna be way way better than, most other people's that are level 2 or level 1 and their friends cannot provide them with some colossus or falcons in their bunkers, which is a good reason why you should have a few higher level players in your team. That way they're gonna be able to fill your friend's bunker with some stronger units that you are not able to afford just yet. And if the enemy lower level players try to attack you, then they simply cannot deal with falcons and, colossus and such, which are way stronger than anything at level 3 or 4, So if you guys just want a definitive answer whether you should join an alliance or not at lower levels, then I think you really should. Like, once you unlock beetle tanks and bazookas, I think that is gonna be like a lowest point where you're allowed to join an alliance, because at least you can do something and you can do quite some damage to lower level players like level 1, 2, 3 and maybe 4 or even level 5. Like, if they have really bad defenses, then you can do quite a lot of damage with beetle tanks and bazookas. Like, don't underestimate the power of beetle tanks and bazookas at lower levels. Like, that combo is really strong. You can master that and you can take the advantage of other players' defenses and use them in order to snipe buildings for free and just do some damage. Like, you're gonna do quite a lot of damage to the enemy and, support your team by either sacrificing your bazookas and other units to either kill the enemy's units in their bunkers, because if you sacrifice all your army to destroy falcons in one of enemy's bunkers, or if you sacrifice your missile rain or any of the consumable powers to destroy the enemy's bunker, like, you're gonna help your team by a lot, because even though you're lower level, destroying enemy's bunkers means a lot. For example, if the enemy has their bunkers filled with falcons or any flying units and your teammates don't have any consumables like boulder strikes or missile rains, and you do at, I don't know, even level 1, like, if you use your powers and destroy enemy's bunkers, that means now your teammates can use their strikes to destroy the enemy base, because strikes cannot deal with anything that can fly because they only target the ground, and generally they are not good at dealing with bunkers. So if you can take out the enemy bunkers and sacrifice your army, then your teammates can go in and destroy the rest of the base, which is the whole idea of the alliance. You have to work as a team and defeat the enemies together, that's the whole point. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys like quick update, like what I'm planning to do. There's no real update to my base. I'm gonna like come back and just update you guys a bit more and just gonna finish the episode with that. And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a bit. Okay, welcome back once more. The reason why I wanted to wait this much is that we have just received an update which basically enables friend helps the way they used to work in original Galaxy Life. So now friends can help us either with our resources or with upgrades. So if they help us with our resources, that means they're gonna increase the amount of resources we loot. So no matter if you accept the help in the beginning or in the end upon looting or before looting the resources, you're gonna receive an additional amount of either minerals or coins if your friends help on those buildings, that is. But if they help you on the buildings that are being upgraded or they are in the process of construction, that means they're gonna reduce the amount of time the building takes to upgrade or finish building. So as we see, our observatory was around 1 or 2% in the beginning because I have just started upgrading my observatory to level 8. So now that we received all the helps from our friends, it basically halved the amount of time it takes to finish upgrading. So that's basically 250 hours that we saved by accepting our friend helps. Speaking of which, I wanna advise or like suggest how you should help your friends. I know that a lot of you guys have bunch of friends, or maybe not that many, but something that you guys can do now is that instead of like helping multiple friends and all of their colonies and such, it would be more beneficial for you guys to help every single player's main planet, or at least their observatory, because as we see, like reducing the time on your observatory, like each help basically reduces the time by 1 day almost, depending on how high of a level your observatory is, or maybe your starbase if you're upgrading your starbase, or like anything that takes days or weeks to upgrade. Like in the end, many turrets are gonna take days and maybe weeks to upgrade, which is like really huge amount of time that you guys are saving and helping your friends with. So I would really advise to help your friends with their observatories at least, because that is one, if not the most valuable building to help when you're helping your friends like this. Oh, and as you guys see, I have upgraded every single wall piece on my main starbase. The walls are not quite level 5 because that takes huge amount of coins. So for example, if I wanted to upgrade every single wall piece, it would take me upwards of 74 million coins, which we do not have right now. So instead I'm upgrading every single turret that I can. As we see, most of my cannons are about level 8 and most of my sniper towers are around level 7, but I did upgrade every single mortar that I have to level 3. That is the highest level available to us at level 8 starbase, and our freezing turrets are basically level 4. That is the highest level you can have them at. Other than that, we are also upgrading our missile launchers and our laser towers. Those are gonna be upgraded to level 5, which is the highest level again that we can have at level 8 starbase. And in terms of units, we do have level 6 strikes, which are essential to alliance wars, and obviously with our strikes we are gonna use starlinators. I was also considering using colossi and menders, but the important thing with colossi is that yeah, they're good, they're strong, they're efficient, but if we want to be powerful in alliance wars, then we need to have at least level 4 if not level 5 or 6 colossi, because until level 4 colossi don't really receive any noticeable damage increase or HP increase or anything important, but their cost increases and that makes the units really inefficient to use. Like, don't get me wrong, colossi and menders are one of the best combos in the game, along with strikes and stalinators. It's just a matter of choice, what you wanna use, what you're better at and what you need in the battle. And speaking of alliance wars, yes, we are gonna be going to alliance wars and you guys are gonna see videos of me doing some alliance wars. I'm not gonna join a really strong alliance just quite yet because I wanna have a bit of fun, I wanna enjoy the game and I don't want it to be like really stressful. And by the way, I'm gonna be using 2 bases to fight alliance wars, one of which is gonna be my main base and the second one is gonna be my first colony, which is this. Currently my first colony is level 6 and I upgraded it to level 6 purely because, well, obviously we're gonna have our upgraded bunkers and they're gonna have double the HP that the bunkers would have at level 5 starbase, and obviously we upgraded walls as well because having strong walls in alliance wars are important. Obviously, you know, higher level your walls are, the better it is, but you know, it doesn't mean that if your walls are level 1 or level 2, you know, you're gonna instantly lose the battle. So on this base, we don't really have that much of a choice. The only good combo that we can use in alliance wars is strikes and stalinators. At level 6 starbase, we can only have our strikes at level 4, which is, you know, a bit upsetting. I wish they were level 5, cause level 5 strikes actually have some HP and they fire faster and they are still really efficient, but you know, that's nothing that will keep us from like doing what we have to do. And our stalinators can be upgraded up to level 4, which is great. There is more than enough power for our stalinators, and obviously in our bunkers we're gonna have falcons since those are the best units that we have. And I did upgrade my falcons to level 2, so there is about 10% more power to them, and obviously having more power in your bunker units, especially more attack and sometimes more HP, is obviously way better than anything because you don't want your bunker units to die and you want them to be really powerful and kill the enemy units as fast as possible. And by the way, the base design that you guys are seeing is something like really simple, something standard. We have our 3 bunkers spread around the base, 1 in the middle and we have 2 towards the edges, and we have our mortars between them to cover basically whole base. I did have some other ideas for my bases, but we're gonna see those ideas come into play somewhere towards the end of summer because we're gonna be upgrading more of our bases to level 6 and maybe level 7 later on, because I really wanna have at least a single colony which is able to produce colossi and menders. That is gonna be my one base that I'm gonna be using for colossi only attacks, because I want my main starbase to be using strikes mostly, and I want some of my colonies to be using maybe colossi and, you know, some other combos if I see that, you know, some other specific combo is working out really great in alliance war. And yeah, that's the update that I wanted to give you guys. And I'm gonna end this episode with a footage of showing you guys how to use colossi and menders together, and just show you guys the raw power and the enjoyment of destroying bases with colossi and menders. So thanks for watching, stay tuned for alliance wars, and I'm gonna see you guys really soon. Bye bye.